Cool. Thanks for joining us today.
What's up, my dog?
Not much, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
We were just saying this, but your hair's getting big, man. It's been a while.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It barely fits on here, but it's comfy. We're good.
Well, thanks for joining us. We know it's been a minute. We kind of fell off the wagon a little bit over summer, but we were living our life, doing our thing.
Yep, life happens, man.
Yeah.
Happens quickly.
But we're back today.
Yep.
Going to do kind of short episode, a little bit of catching up,
Yep.
a couple updates, and go through some listener questions.
Yep.
So, dude, what have you been up to, man?
I've been working. I've been riding a lot more.
I've been seeing the gravel bike clips.
Yeah, I was gonna say not mountain bikes, but I'm on a bike, so we're good. We're getting a lot of cardio in, a lot of pedaling in. Which, if you know me, that's been like my kryptonite. Basically, is pedaling, and turns out that pedaling isn't too bad when you just turn your mind off and just do it. You know, so
yeah, that's the way.
Hopefully, this is gonna transfer to directly on the mountain bike, and I can climb up trails a lot easier and a lot more comfortable these days. So yeah, riding my bike a lot, getting really into road cycling.
I know that came out of nowhere.
We can go into that if you want to, but it's just like
it's good though, man. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like me, the homie Tyler, and the homie Josh, we went to this like road race down the street in Livermore, and for some reason seeing that live and seeing like the community behind it, honestly, there's a culture behind it, like the fixed gear side of things, and like you guys know me, I always like to find the cool side of things. So there's a dope side of cycling that no one really sees. It's kind of starting to get light shine on it, but
yeah.
it's there's like a niche side of cycling that's already niche, that they wear gold chains, they do what they want to do, and they ride fast, you know what I mean? Just having fun. It's like a BMX culture in road cycling.
Dude, there's a guy, OBF415, who puts on races in SF, and I think you'd like him. He does like little underground, they're almost like crit road races, like, and you just like through Golden Gate Park in the morning, and they're all like underground, and
that's the kind of
Rangers
stuff
bust them up and stuff, but it's fun, and they have like weed and stuff everywhere.
That's sick.
Yeah.
What you been up to?
Oh man, I've been injured. Yeah. I've been out for a couple months. I'm now back, but yeah, dude, I had 2 bad crashes back to back.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about those.
Yeah, one of my footage of overshot a jump in Ashland. Huge slap with the boys. We were like 20 people deep, like one of the best slaps of my life. Yeah. And then was trying to hit the jumps with everybody and didn't scout them out and just overshot this jump like crazy. That was really painful, but nothing broken, nothing major. I got this huge hematoma on my hip. Like I had basically like a baby. It looked like I was pregnant on my side for a couple weeks. But that went away, and then
just swelling. There's nothing to that.
It's just like blood build up.
Interesting.
And your body reabsorbs it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Crazy.
It was like all purple, and I had a name for it and everything. Like I went to the gym, and I didn't want to take off my shirt because I knew people would look at me and be like, "What is that?" But yeah, then recovered from that, and then like 3 weeks later, went out on just a ride with the boys on our local trails, and just was cooking too much, and
Go ahead.
I just went into a turn, front wheel washed, and like as soon as my front wheel washed, I knew I was going down. And then in between the front wheel washing and me hitting the ground, like I literally had the thought, I was like, this is gonna be bad, and not again. Like back-to-back crashes, and then on the shoulder, and then I got it checked out, and it was a fracture.
Yeah, that was the bad one actually. Yeah. And you know that front wheel wash, for some reason, as soon as it happens, everything slows down, and you just think of how bad it's gonna be after.
Yeah, and
those are the worst.
My PSI was too high in my tires. Like I can look back at all these things now of like why I washed out, and then we were riding the trails the other day, and I was going so slow through that corner. I'm still
said, not again.
Yeah, I'm still shook from the crash.
Yeah.
Coming back's been harder than I thought, and getting older, it's like, dude, you don't feel as invincible as you used to. And so it's
it
like,
sucks.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy about like riding? You have all the confidence in the world, and like you can get through it, but if you just have that one mess up and you go down hard, that confidence just it's gone.
Goes away. Yeah, like my first ride back, it was like completely irrational, but I was just good like doing a road descent, and I was like, somehow my front axle is going to come loose, my tire is going to fall off, and I'm going to fall at full speed, and like there's no way physically that could happen if my wheel isn't coming off the ground, but like just
in your head is just mind games basically at that point.
It's
tough.
So I've been working through that, But yeah, got a new e-bike too. Got the new propane,
sick.
Which I'm super stoked on.
I think sick. Dude.
Yeah, which when we get to a listener question about bike color, I'm excited. I'm excited about that bike's color or lack of color, really.
Yeah. You got the. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Yep. I feel like what you just said about the your PSI being too high and like the tire pressure and whatnot. I feel like that's kind of a perfect segue into one of these questions if you want to get into it.
Yeah, let's do a question. Yeah. So we posted on Instagram. Shout out to everybody who replies to us on Instagram.
All you legends, bro.
Still engages.
Yeah, thank you.
One of the questions that we were asked, which I already know my answer immediately, is tubeless versus tubes. Yeah. And I just got to say, tubeless with cush core, it's not even a question.
And I got to say, I'm a tubes guy, you know? So why do you like tubeless and cush cores?
I'm going to put it on you. Why do you like tubes? Yeah, what? Why do you like tubes?
So it goes back to, like, it's really hard for me to get out of my roots, especially my action sports roots, you know? So, like, BMX, you use tubes, regardless. There's no BMX, dirt jumping, you're going to use tubes. Tubeless hasn't gone down there yet, so that's kind of where I get it from. And then for me, I like to hit a lot of jumps, and as you guys know, my name is Chubbs. I'm a bigger guy, so...
You've been slimming down, though, dude.
Thanks, man. I've been trying hella hard.
You have, dude, a whole bunch, yeah.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I've been trying hella hard.
Yeah.
But... still a bigger guy, I'm a little dense, you know, so I've noticed that whenever I ride tubeless and I try to push through turns or I try to like pump through jumps or anything like that, maybe I'm riding the wrong tires, who knows, like I need a better sidewall, but I always feel my tires fold, and whenever I feel my tires fold, it just freaks me out, and it goes back to our conversation about the confidence. So whenever I feel that once, I don't feel confident going through the jump, going through the turn. I don't feel confident as myself. So for some reason, when I have tubes in, even if I'm running the same PSI as I was running tubeless, I feel more confident. I just feel...
Okay, I was going to ask, what PSI do you run then?
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, I truthfully don't have an answer for you on that. I'm one of those guys where...
You don't have like a number?
I don't have a number. I use my fingers. So like if I'm riding a trail, I want to at least be able to like a little bit squishy. I want it to be able to support me.
The ripe avocado.
The ripe avocado. That's actually perfect. That's exactly what I try to feel. Like I was trying to feel like the softness, you know, but a ripe avocado in the tire, and then I'm like, okay, I'm good. And knowing that I have a tube in there. Another thing. I never get pinch flats. I never knock on wood.
That's what I don't. Okay, I get pinch flats. Yeah. Maybe I'm not running high enough PSI, but
I never get flats whatsoever, except for that one time we were in.
I don't believe him.
We were in Pacifica. Remember when I still didn't get a flat. We were in Pacifica and my tire blew up and the tube was still intact.
The thing was crazy. Yeah, and Jensen reposted it, and then they're like, "I agree with Jackie Legs. How did that happen?" I was like, "Sick, I made it."
Yeah. But so even on that, my tube didn't blow up. It just came out of the sidewall of that tire. So I don't blow tubes. It's weird. I don't. And then
that's crazy. When I rode tubes, I would almost every ride get flat.
Never. Maybe it's because I don't go get tube. This is a little. I'm not a weight weenie either. So I get my tubes from Walmart and I get the heavy duty tubes.
Wow, you heard it here first.
They're like $4, super thick.
Wait, is that like the hack? You get Walmart tubes?
I get Walmart tubes. I think I just Blackburn, I think they're called.
Oh yeah.
Blackburn. Yeah. So I get they're like $4. The reason I keep going back is because I never get a puncher.
Wow.
So, and then I have tubeless on my gravel bike now, and I know you're supposed to go and pump your tires up before every ride, blah, 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 but my rear tire is flat every single time I go ride. I mean, completely flat down to the rim.
Yeah. I mean, tubeless is more work, and, like, it's harder to get it dialed, and I definitely have that. Like, on my transition, I have to pump up my tires before every ride. But then I remember, like, I haven't put sealant in for, like, 3 months. Yeah. But then, like, you get your little tire gremlins, and you got to do all that. But, dude, I hate getting flats. And, like, I have more confidence with the tubeless setup, especially with cush core. Like, I feel like I can mash through sections and just, like, trust the back wheel more. And it's happened a couple of times, I guess, at North Star only. No, I think at Whistler, too, where I got a flat, and then I had cush core, and then it was just like, I can just go down the mountain on cush core and not worry. You're going to mess up your tire and, like, the sidewall, but you won't ruin your rim. And, like, I like that confidence. Like,
so cush core is like, I don't really...
Oh, it's like a foam insert that goes around the rim, and I guess that's been a thing in like dirt bikes for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had like an old roommate, and he was a dirt biker, and like when it first came out, I was telling him about it, and he's like, "Oh, I should know the name of it," but he's like, "Oh yeah, that's been around since like the '70s in dirt bikes." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't know that."
Oh, wow.
But yeah, it's just a foam insert, and then it allows you to run lower PSI, and it just adds support, and I like it. Matt hates it. What up, Matt?
Look. He said Matt hates it. What
BMX is his background? BMX. Yeah, I think Cushcore would be like a BMXer's worst nightmare. But like as a late stage mountain biker, it's like I don't know. I like the technology behind it, and like I swear by it now. Like,
I mean, I have to put it in a mountain bike. Oh, another thing, I don't have like a dedicated trail bike. So if I had a dedicated trail bike, then I probably would run it that way. Yeah,
that's true.
Like,
we got to get you a dedicated trail bike.
I want to get an e-bike.
Yeah,
different conversation.
Yeah. We'll get into that. Yeah. Buy a YT right now.
Yeah, right. Oh, wow, right.
Yeah. Or the propane. Dude, when I bought my propane, they had a 20% off sale, which was great. And then I bought it, and then literally the next day, they're like, "Oh, now it's a 30% off sale." I was like, "Oh, great, perfect timing." Yeah.
Should have shot them a couple of emails or something.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into things.
Before we go off of the tubeless, I do want to say one thing. Odyssey BMX has come up with this this new tubeless kind of. It's like a tube, but it's not a tube, and it has two different valves. You can change the PSI inside of your tire, and then you can run it tubeless as well, or something crazy like that. I'll clip this out, and then I'll show you guys what I'm talking about on the page, but because I can't remember what it's called, but that's very important. That's coming. I think it's only gonna be a few more years until that trickles down into BMX, because Odyssey BMX is making mountain bike parts now, which is going to go into BMX parts.
Yeah, this is the podcast of new news and new releases.
We're trying to.
We're predicting the future here. Okay. So some listener questions. You wrote these down, so I'm not sure who submitted them. But one of them is, how does suspension matter in terms of frame geometry?
That's our buddy Tyler. Shout out Tyler.
What up, Tyler?
Most of these are going to be Tyler, to be 100% honest.
Oh, there you go. What up, Tyler? Thanks. I think it matters a lot, like just especially now that I realize I've been on the Horselink suspension, Horselink. Which, side note, if you don't know, the guy who invented the Horselink suspension, which is like the standard, like on the Transition, Giant, he's also the same guy. He has a patent on the step stools for trucks. Like when you step out of your truck, he owns that patent. So I think homie's low-key loaded.
That's pretty sick.
He lives in Laguna Beach. But anyway, sidebar.
Interesting.
Yeah, dude, he has like all these patents. He's like this amazing inventor. But he invented the Horselink, and that's okay. I'm getting here there. But that's what I've been on for the last few years. And so now this propane is the first bike I've ridden that doesn't have that. Okay. And I'm like, oh, it responds so differently. It's like you go through chunk, the way it pops, like the way when you lift the wheel. And so I think like it does matter a lot. And then also being on an air shock for a while and then going to a coil is like, all that definitely matters. And
what would you say your biggest takeaways from like in a comparison capacity with the two bikes that you just came from? Because you said you were on the Horselink for a really long time, so I'm sure you got very comfortable on it. You could ride it. You knew where your suspension was in turns, going in steeps. You knew what your bike was going to do. And then this new bike, what was your biggest takeaways when you got on the propane?
It was much more planted. Like what I've had with the Horselink and like the other bikes I've been on is the bike like wants to pop and it's very responsive. And then
playful.
It's weird, but playful,
okay.
Yeah. Where this, it's not that it's not playful. It's just like a little slower in the way it moves, but that's like not a bad thing. Yeah. Like it feels like control. It kind of feels like you're driving like a bigger car versus like a smaller car, like a Honda Civic or something. Like it's much more responsive. Okay. Where at least the propane e-bike, in a good way, it kind of feels like you're like, I don't know, like driving a Mercedes or something, where it's like just slower and smooth. And it'll do everything you want to do. It's like a performance vehicle, but just the way it responds is a little different. And so I've realized, like, yeah, it totally does matter. And then coming from skating, I always thought that was BS. Like, I guess contrary to my Cushcore wanting technology belief, but I was like, oh, your setup doesn't matter. It's all about the rider. And, like, it is about the rider, but the setup matters so much.
I agree. Yeah. And would you say, I'll get into my opinion in just a second, but I'm curious to hear from you. Would you say that you feel faster on the Horselink, or you feel faster on a propane, or have you not ridden it enough to really feel like you can open it up all the way?
For speed, they basically feel the same. I feel like it's really suspension settings. It's like cornering and popping. Jumping is the biggest difference. The horse link, I just feel like is like the suspension kind of works with, at least, I don't know. I'm used to it.
More through the transition, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I just like it. That's just what I learned to jump on. So to me, that's just like what a bike suspension feels like.
That makes sense.
But
yeah. And for me, I'll say that.
Yeah, what do you think?
Makes a huge difference. And my experience is that I went from like my first real built up mountain bike that I really loved and that I really loved and got behind and like got comfortable riding was the Ferrum, and that was a single pivot. So it was a single pivot with a coil shock. Yeah. And then I went from that directly to a Rocky Mountain Altitude, which I'm not sure what kind of
it's the
suspension kinematics they have, but
we should know the name of that.
Yeah, but it's not a single pivot, right?
Yeah, and it's not a horse link.
It's not a horse link, right? And so between those two, obviously I was very comfortable on the Ferrum, but I felt more comfortable in jumps and whatnot. And when I felt comfortable in jumps, or when I hit jumps even, I could feel like a little side sway, which is a little weird, but I had to get used to it. And then when I went to the Rocky Mountain, which was a significantly bigger bike as well, 29-inch wheels, more suspension, longer reach, all of that stuff, just a bigger bike all around. I felt a lot more comfortable on it because I could point it downhill. I would know that I'm not going to feel like I'm going to get bugged.
So you think, was the Rocky Mountain aluminum or carbon?
It was aluminum.
So that's because the Ferrum's steel.
Steel, yeah.
That's funny. So you felt more flex in the steel?
Yeah, but it was a lateral flex.
Yeah,
lateral flex.
Which is funny. That's why I actually sold my Marin and got the propane. Was the frame had so much lateral flex that like if you cornered really hard, you could feel the bike move. Yeah, and it's just like with like the weight of the motor, it just didn't feel right.
And like, don't get me wrong, like it still felt great. I felt very comfortable on it. That was just the comparison that I found between the two. And then I went from the Altitude to the Transition Patrol, which was my dream bike, which is my dream bike. Like, I'm never going to sell this frame ever, I don't think. And that which is a horse link. Yeah. And when you say that's how bike suspension should feel, when I got on my Transition and I rode that, I was like, this is what a bike is supposed to feel like.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I rode my Spike. Also, just shout out Transition.
Shout out Transition.
Sponsor us, please.
Shout out Transition. But yeah, I just, when I went through the steeps, I went through the chunder, I went through the jumps, everything just felt like this is what this bike is supposed to do. It didn't feel sluggish. It didn't feel like I'm going to get bucked whatsoever. I could literally just ride anything I wanted to and just feel the utmost comfortable confidence, whatever you want to call it, on that bike. Yeah. It's so sick.
So we agree on this one that it definitely matters. Huge having the proper setup for your riding and your body is like really essential.
That's the biggest thing, though. You can have the craziest suspension kinematics all you want, the suspension setup, but as long as it's for your weight and for your body and what you're supposed to be riding, that's what's really most important.
I just thought in my head of like the dentist bike or like some dude who has, like every part, anodized and customized. You don't need to go that far, but you should just be comfortable on yourself.
No, yeah, that's actually in one of our questions over here.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a good segue. Yeah. Does the color of your bike matter? Yes. And it should have orange in it.
So obviously his bikes have orange in it all the time, so that's where he's coming from. But
orange makes you faster.
He's not wrong.
It's a scientific fact.
He's not wrong. And if you feel good or if you look good, you're going to feel good and you're going to ride good, So that's kind of where I take it from. And that's from playing in sports all my life. Like, you look good, you feel good, you play good. And that just comes from...
Wasn't that like the slogan for Men's Warehouse or something?
Probably. that makes sense.
You look good, you ride good.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. But, yeah, if you're going to ride something that, like, at least in my opinion, unless you're completely focused on just the fastest times, the lightest bikes, whatever you want. But if you're not focused on that stuff and you just focus on feeling comfortable on your bike and just riding as fast as you can go and riding your trail, riding your speed, then if you feel good on that bike, if you look good on a bike, you're going to ride good. And if you're not riding too good, you're still going to feel like you are because you look dope.
So we got to look really good on bikes.
You have to.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
So the color of your bike definitely matters.
It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference. But I do also want to add this. You said the most anodized stuff, the lightest parts,
oil slick,
the newest suspension out there.
Yeah.
Is that necessary to get on your bike?
No.
I don't think so either.
I think all the Groms disprove that. Like
Immediately.
I've seen Groms with like, I've seen a guy at Pacifica with literally his shock bolts loose and shaking, and he's sending everything, and it's like, all right, your bike's not going to last much longer, but yeah.
So it's like when I see the forums and everything, and like, oh, like I need to get this new Fox. What's the new Fox upside down for it that just came out? The podium.
Yeah, it's having
like,
all these problems.
I need to get this new Fox podium. I need to get this. I need to get the lightest carbon wheels. It's like, you don't need to get that, man. Like if you want it, that's cool, but you don't need it to ride the best you can ride. Just go out and have fun and just focus on getting comfortable on your bike. And if you start racing and you start trying to shave times off of your KOMs or your local tracks, then we can start talking about that stuff. But when you're getting into it, just get something that you like, man.
Yeah. Dude, you know what's funny? I saw an interview with Rachel Strait like years ago on, I don't know if they still have it, Worldwide Cycling had a podcast, and then I can't find this episode, but she basically said like what's the biggest mistake people make in riding? And she's like, I see all these guys, they go out, they have a frustrating day of riding, they want to get better, and instead they just go home, crush some beers, and then buy new parts. Yeah, she's like, instead of just going to the gym or going back to that same trail and riding it 4 or 5 times in a row. And it was like kind of that anti-consumerism message, which is kind of funny for a bike shop to be putting out. But yeah, I think about that a lot.
Find it anymore.
Yeah, because I definitely fall into that trap where I come home and I'm like, damn, okay, if I just get like, you know, that new tire or whatever, I'll ride that. And it's like, no, you just need to be out there more.
Yep. For sure.
It's so easy. I think a lot of people just do that in America in general, too.
Yeah.
Just consumerist culture.
Culture. Yeah. Exactly.
All right, clipless versus flat. That's funny, dude. I was just talking about that with Ben yesterday because, we were hitting some laps, and I was saying, like, the whole time, I don't know if it's my suspension settings, but I was just working, especially my right foot, like, keeping it in the pedal, and I realized, like, that was, like, half of my descent was thinking about my foot on the pedal, and I'm like, oh, if I didn't have to think about this, like if it was the perfect position every time, that would definitely help my riding. So I do think there's something to clips. But that being said, I've tried them for one day and was like, I'm never doing this, flats only. And I love being able to put my foot down in corners and just having that. So I'm flats for life, but I would be interested in what it's like to ride clipless.
Yeah. So obviously we just spoke about how I'm riding like road bikes and whatnot, and that's
clipless.
Exclusively clipless pedals.
Yeah, flats would be crazy. I mean, that's what I do, but people, it makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. Yeah.
And to be honest with you, like I get it now. I totally understand it because when you're just pedaling and that's all you're doing, you're not only pushing down with watts here, but you're pulling it up. So you're going, right?
Yeah.
And so when you think of it in that aspect, it makes sense. And then I started riding my gravel bike on downhill single track trails, right? And so when I was in there, yes, in my head at first, I'm like, oh, I'm locked in here. I would like to be able to put my foot down or be able to slow down and kind of have that out if I need to. But then once I started hitting the trail speed and I was going through, I knew what my lines were. I was able to put my bike into places that I couldn't have done if my feet were on flat. So
do you think it increases your commitment?
100%. And when you increase your commitment and you trust like your tires, you trust your bike, you're only gonna go faster. You're gonna get through it, and that's my way. That's the way I look at it. Because I went through a rock garden on my gravel bike, and the way I had to hit it, I had to go around a turn, and then I had to kind of like hop into this side, you know. And when I did it, I was in my drop bars, and I kind of like just lifted up my feet and just put my rear tire where it needed to go in my head. Yeah. And it did that. And like I have a GoPro video of me doing it. I say, ooh. And
you're that perfect. Like, oh yeah.
It was crazy. So that made me think, like just that ride made me think, what would this feel like on mountain bikes? Because I've never ridden a true clipless pedal on mountain bikes. I've ridden the ones that have magnets on them, which it feels like a clipless pedal, but
I remember that.
Yeah, but it's not as clipped in, and they're a little bit heavier, you know. But even when I rode that, and that was on the fair on my single pivot bike, that was the fastest that I felt on a bike at that time, you know. And I just felt super confident, and I, for some reason, not thinking that I could put my foot off made me, like you said, commit more, and I didn't think about taking my foot off, which usually makes you slow down a little bit because you're sliding if you take your foot off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
but that's the fun part.
Exactly.
But, yeah, but it's not as fast. Yeah.
It's not efficient. You know what I mean? So, clipless versus flats, it's always going to be a debate. Always. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's personal preference. I would love to see some scientific data of like UCI top like pros race one on flats and then do the same lap on clipless and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's a good Jackson Goldstone on that, you know.
I know. Well, was it Sam Hill that used to ride clips? Someone back in the day.
No, he may have done, but I know he's famous for riding flats too.
Yeah, that's what. Sorry, I got it back. Yeah, he rides flats. I was gonna say, I feel like, because I mean, more riders have.
He was the
clipless.
fastest.
Yeah, but I'm a flats guy. But I feel like the data would probably show that clipless is honestly faster or more efficient. Yeah. But flats are cooler.
Flats are cooler.
Yeah, and the shoes are better too.
Yeah, and you can't do.
You don't have the click when you get out and you're walking everywhere.
And you can't do huge knacks with clipless pedals. So
that's true. Yeah. I wouldn't want to jump with clips.
No. I would never want to jump with clips for sure. Yeah. For sure, man. And then like just talk about bike technology. What would you think about free coasters on bikes? That's another question that Tyler shot into us, you know.
I feel like I've seen someone who has it on their bike. I've never ridden a free coaster. Yeah, but maybe it's still in Stark.
And Ethan.
Oh, yeah? Maybe that's it. Maybe I saw Ethan. Yeah. Shout out to Ethan.
Yeah,
Getting so good, dude. It's insane.
It's incredible.
Yeah, every time I see a clip, I'm like, all right, bro's at a pro level now.
Dude, it's crazy. He does 540s on full suspension, like downhill bikes, man. That's a different conversation.
Yeah. But I lost my train of thought now. What were you just saying?
Talking about free coasters.
Free coasters. I've never ridden a free coaster, so I don't have that much frame of a reference. And I'll be honest, I didn't know what a free coaster was until I lived with Matt. And I rode his BMX, and he told me, and I was like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing.
So,
but how many are mountain bikers riding fakie that often?
So, for those of you who don't know what a free coaster is, and what fakie is basically riding backwards. And if you go get on your bike right now and try to ride backwards, you'll see that your pedals are going to go. They can't go any other way. But a free coaster, if you ride backwards, you can just coast. Obviously, why it's called a free coaster.
Yeah.
And what that is you can, it caused the BMX riders to open up a completely new bag of tricks where they could bunny hop downstairs. They can do fakie tail whips. It's just fakie front flips on quarter pipes. It's absolutely insane.
And the way they can manual too.
Yeah, like fakie manuals, all that stuff, you know. So free coasters on big bikes obviously would be cool. The only people I could see it being really, really cool for are the people who are doing the backyard battles, the
slope style
stuff. You know
Crank
what I mean?
works,
Exactly, crank works, all that.
Go up on
stuff.
A platform, be fakey, and pop off or something.
The same people that are doing tail whips and bar spins on full suspension mountain bikes are gonna like free coasters, and to me, that's so sick.
Sidebar: I'd maybe think about tail whips and bar spins on big mountain bikes. What do you think of internal headset routing?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Have you ever... I will say, it is a pain to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't know a bike mechanic that likes it.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes your setup look cleaner, and you can do bar spins and tail whips, but the propane only comes with internal headset routing, and it's like, no, I'm good. It makes it so much, it was so incredibly difficult to change the brakes. Shout out Toolbox, shout out Kevin for doing that.
Shout out Toolbox, hell
but it was insane.
So in my opinion, internal cable routing on mountain biking has gone too damn far.
Yeah.
It's gone too damn far.
Bring it back, people. Bring back external routing.
Yeah.
It was so easy.
Yeah. And it didn't look bad. The only reason we think it looks bad now is because of all the bikes with internal routing.
But dude, you could just fix a problem the same day.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do any of this crazy stuff or get the magnets. It was just so much easier.
Yep. And with I'll bring this up as long as I ride road bikes now, but in the road bike community, internal routing is standard. So like the new road bike that I have now, it's only internal routing, and that looks super sick.
For a road bike, I guess it makes more sense. I don't know.
Like keep it aero, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? But like it looks like a paint. Like my new frame, it came with all these tubes hanging out of it, and I haven't figured out yet if you keep them in because it helps you guide.
Those might be cable guides.
That's what I'm thinking too. You know that would make sense. So I left them in. Them in.
Yeah.
But just look, I'm not building this bike because normally I would build my bikes. I would take it to someone to do the.
But I think that's such a good point. Like you could work on your bike normally, but now you can't with this internal. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a double-edged sword. It looks good, but it makes bike maintenance, which is very important, very hard.
Yeah. So
you know
we're against internal headset routing.
Yeah.
Bring back external routing.
Yeah. Bring back the good stuff. Man.
Make routing external again.
Yeah. Yeah. For real. For real.
Also, sidebar, when you were talking about magnets, I just thought of the drum clip. He's like, magnets, no one knows how they work.
No one knows how they work.
But they're on my bike. All right, sidebar. We're at like 30 minutes. Okay. So maybe we should like wrap this up and then take a break and do the next one.
Do you want to do the last, or do you want to save this for like a conversation on the next one? Because that could be a whole conversation.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, let's maybe skip that one.
Okay.
And then.
That's all of them.
Yeah, maybe let's just wrap it up. Oh! Sam asked, how wet is too wet? We can end with that because it's about to run over. Cool. All right, last question. Shout out Sam.
Shout out to you, Sam.
Probably the fastest rider I know.
He's crazy
so
quick.
Fast.
Yeah. I feel like we speak about that every time he comes up on the pod. We always have to talk about how fast
I do, because every time I think I'm fast, I look at Strava or follow Sam, and I'm like, dang.
There he goes.
But shout out to the homie. He asked, basically, like, how wet is too wet? When should you not ride trails?
Very important conversation.
Yeah, I kind of dealt with this yesterday, that I thought trails were dry enough, and then I was dropping, and I realized I was skidding and making ruts, and yeah, I was like, I damaged the trail. So I was thinking about this. I guess if you feel like you're damaging the trail, and that might change depending on like if it's a loamer, if it's sandy, like in SoCal when it barely rains, like if you ride after the rain, you will like put a permanent divot in the trail. But I know like in Humboldt and like England or places where it rains a lot, they're like riding in the rain all the time. So I think you really got to know like your local soil conditions. But yeah, if you're leaving a mark or a rut, you shouldn't be riding. Yeah,
I agree. I completely agree with that. And I'm glad you brought up England, because every time this conversation comes up on the interwebs, I always see people from the UK being like, oh, we ride it when it's like pouring down rain, like da-da-da-da-da. It's like, at the end of the day, you guys kind of have no choice because it's pouring down rain most of the time.
And the soil's like used to it.
You know, and that's like that's what the soil is for, you know? Out here, we're lucky enough to have 80% to 90% of our days to be nice and sunny, you know, or at least dry. And our environment isn't built to hold water like that. So if it's been raining like it's been raining, what are they calling these? Atmospheric rivers?
Yeah.
If you're seeing that and you're leaving, if you can see your tires leaving marks and you're leaving a rut, I say just go home. Don't go out there, especially if you know you're going to be damaging trails, like you said. Yeah. Because who wants to do that? We already have a lot of people out here trying to build the trails, maintain the trails. And if you go out and just ride when you want to, it's not going to be good for everybody.
Yeah. It also made me think, jumps versus trails. You can sometimes get away with riding a trail when it's a little bit wet and maybe not do damage, but if you ride jumps wet...
Please don't ride jumps when wet.
Yeah, and also don't ride Surons on tree line when it's wet, please, or up the step up.
Just don't ride Surons on mountain bike trails at all, please.
We're part of the Suron hate clan over here.
Yeah.
Not because...
Hey, shout out to the Suron hate clan.
Yeah. Not because they're not cool. They look like a lot of fun.
They are dope.
Don't ruin our trails, please.
Yeah, they are dope. Yeah. They are dope. Just go...
Yeah.
If you do come ride the trails, it's a simple just come back and pick up a shovel.
That's also true. If you
it's really simple.
You could get away with riding a Suron.
It's really simple. If someone comes out and they see you on a Suron, but you have a shovel in your hand, and they try to say something to you, you have a shovel in your hand. It's like, yo, you pick up a shovel.
Yeah.
You know?
You also have a shovel in your hand, which is it's a pretty good weapon. Anyway.
I digress.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, we said we would make this a short episode just to bring us back. And if you listen this far, as always, shout out. We appreciate you.
You're a savage.
Any closing words?
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be talking. I want to get a nice, good cadence going on here. You know, let's let's keep it going.
Yeah, we got guests lined up.
Yeah, we do.
Cool.
And you guys keep coming back. We love you guys. We love you keeping the page engaged and all that good stuff. So, you guys are legends. Shout out to the homies.
Yo.
Sweet.